Hey there, everyone. My name's Alex Wilson. I'm an accredited mental health social worker and the director of Mindful Recovery Services in Erina in New South Wales. So I've just made this little video for people who, maybe are thinking about coming to therapy, or maybe they've been recommended by somebody, either a loved one or a doctor has said, hey, maybe you should try some talking therapy, but you're feeling sort of reluctant. And I'm especially wanting to talk to people who have had previous bad experiences in therapy. So maybe you felt that it just didn't work very well. So, kind of, what's the point? Or sometimes I hear from people that they have had experiences where they have felt really misunderstood, really invalidated, or that they were treated too clinically, like they were treated like a diagnosis rather than a person. Unfortunately, I do hear these stories, and sometimes even well-meaning therapists can sometimes do the wrong thing and someone has a bad experience. So, if you have had a bad experience, first of all, please understand that you're not the only one, but also that doesn't mean you have to give up on therapy altogether. There may be other ways forward. So, I want to just kind of talk that through today. So, it's important to understand that there's different types of psychological therapy, right? Different models. So we've got cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which you may have heard of. This is sort of your stock standard. Everyone kind of practices this. And this is dealing with thoughts and how they impact our emotions and behaviors and that sort of thing. We also have dialectical behavioral therapy, which is a more specialized type of therapy. That's one that I specialize in. And we work a lot with trying to regulate emotional states, but we work with, creating change in some areas, but also on some acceptance based concepts and mindfulness based concepts, a little bit of mix of East and West. Um, there's also trauma therapy. We do a bit of that here at my clinic. Different types of trauma therapy, narrative therapy, schema therapy, gestalt. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. So, one of the things you can look at if you're looking at getting back into therapy, or if someone's recommending it for you can start to maybe do some reading about the different types of therapy and maybe what model might be a good fit for you. It might have been that previously, when you were doing therapy, maybe it was just the wrong model. And finding the right model would be a real game changer. Now, the other thing that's really important to think about is the most important factor in good outcomes for people in therapy is the quality of the relationship between the therapist and the client. So, when that relationship is strong and good things happen. If that relationship isn't great, nothing good is going to happen in that therapy room. And often that's nobody's fault. It might be a personality issue, it might be an age or a gender issue, it might be a communication style. Again, it might be a therapeutic model that's not a great fit. It's not necessarily anybody's fault, but sometimes it's just not a good fit. I usually say to people, if you haven't felt like really a good click with your therapist within 2 to 3 sessions, it's probably not going to happen, and shop around. And absolutely do that. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. It's really important that you get that right fit. And again, there's a lot of different factors that play into that. Um, so I guess what I'd like you to kind of consider today is, if you're feeling reluctant to jump into therapy or back into therapy, um, don't give up, right? Having a compassionate, trusted therapist who's in your corner as you navigate all the ups and downs of life can be so, so healing. It's just about finding the right person, the right type of style that's going to work for you. Um, and please shop around. Some of the things you can do, if you're considering getting back into therapy, what I usually suggest is that you jump on some websites of therapists in your area and you just start to suss them out. So a lot of therapists will have on their websites videos, blogs, different things that they might write or produce that can give you a sense of who they are. And again, like their communication style, what's their specialty area. Find someone who specializes in what you're dealing with. So, for example, if you're struggling with anxiety, find an anxiety specialist. right? Some therapists will list everything under their specialty. I don't like to go that way. I think it's better to find someone who deals just in what you're dealing with. If you want someone who does complex trauma, find a complex trauma specialist. If you want someone that deals with, eating stuff, find that person. So the more specialist they are, probably the more experienced and good they are in that field. But again, remember, personality matters. Personality probably matters more than the model, but it's great if we can get both at the same time. And again, shop around. Book an initial session, see how you feel. You're in no obligation to go back and maybe try a few different people. Who did I gel with? Who did I click with? I know it can get expensive. Obviously, there's Medicare rebates available. Some places you can use NDIS packages and things like that. But it may be worth that investment to find someone who's just going to be a really great support for you as you go through whatever you're going through. So if you want to get in touch with me or my team, so we're based here in Erina. We have lots of video blogs, well, I do, on our website, but lots of other blogs. Our bios are up there. Again, we specialize in, complex trauma, emotion regulation stuff, teens and adults. But, feel free to reach out. I respond personally to all our website messages. So, even sending through some questions, if you're not sure, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction, even if it's not us, looking for a specialist area if you're having trouble finding one. All right. So yeah, if you want to check us out, www.mindfulrecovery.com.au. And if you send a message through the website, you'll come to me, Alex. All right. So I hope that's helpful. Please feel free to reach out. Bye.